Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're making chili. As the summer approaches, and yes, I know we're far away from summer, but it'll be here before you know it, you need a good chili recipe right in your pocket. This one is high protein and low carb, keto friendly, and I'm gonna show you how you can make a carnivore version if you are on a carnivore diet. We're gonna be using 3 different kinds of meats in this chili. Now, this chili is not gonna have beans, of course. It's not gonna have any of that because you can't have that if you're on a low carb diet. But we can pack it with flavor by using different kinds of meats. We're gonna be using an 85% lean ground beef. I'm also gonna be using chorizo. You can use any kind of pork sausage you want or just ground pork. I like the chorizo because it adds a little bit of spice, adds a little bit of flavor. So I'm gonna be using that. I just took it out of the casing raw. You don't wanna get it cooked. And we're also gonna be using bacon. This is center cut bacon. So it has a lot of meat and fat, just both of them. You don't want it to be too on the fatty side or too on the meat side. So the first thing we're going to do is we're gonna cook our bacon. Now I have a plate set here because we're just gonna crisp the bacon up and set it aside before we work on any of the other ingredients. You wanna take I like to use a steel pot. You can use a non-stick, really whatever you have will be fine. And I'm gonna heat it on a medium heat. Once it's nice and hot, you're just gonna drop your bacon in. You don't need to add any kinds of fats because obviously the bacon has its own fat, so it's gonna cook in its own fat. You wanna make sure your plate is nice and ready, so I just put a paper towel on top because I want to drain the fat because I wanna make sure that bacon gets nice and crisp. The pot is nice and hot. I'm now going to drop the bacon in. And we are just gonna let this cook down. Don't worry about it sticking to the bottom of the pot. It's gonna render its own fat and it's gonna crisp up. We're gonna just give it a moment to let the fat actually get out of the bacon meat. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below and also share this video with someone that would love this recipe. The bacon has finished, it is nice and crispy. I'm just gonna set this aside while we work on cooking the rest of the meat. I've taken out most of the bacon fat. You don't want a lot of the fat in there because it's just gonna be too much. And setting the heat again on medium heat, we're gonna add our beef and the chorizo and let it cook. We left a little bit of the bacon fat in there because we want the flavors from the bacon to cook with all the rest of the meats, but you don't want too much, otherwise it's gonna be too oily and just an unpleasant texture for a chili. Now you just wanna let your meat cook until it is just done. Once it's done, we're gonna take it out and then work on the broth. The meat is nice and cooked. I'm gonna take my seasonings. All I'm using is some paprika, salt, and black pepper, and I'm gonna add this directly into the pot. If you're doing a carnivore only diet, you can just add the salt. Let's mix all these spices together and let it incorporate into the meat. After we've let the seasonings cook with the meat for about a minute or 2, we're gonna add some beef broth. Now I'm gonna be using Kettle and Fire beef broth, not sponsored, but it's a really clean broth if you're looking for a great product to use. We're gonna dump this directly in with our meat. And if you are doing keto, this is not for carnivore, add some tomato paste. That gives it a classic chili flavor, but it is completely optional. If you're using the tomato paste, it's gonna dissolve in with the broth. And we're just gonna let the meat cook with the broth uncovered. You're not gonna use a lid for this. We're gonna give it about 20 minutes. That way all the flavors can mix together and you can get a delicious flavor for this soup. Our chili has been simmering for 20 minutes and now we're gonna add our bacon back in. So I'm gonna take the bacon and we're just going to throw it back into the pot. Mix that together. I've also turned the heat down to the lowest heat setting because we're done cooking. We just want to add back the bacon and to thicken up this chili a little bit. We are going to add some beef tallow. I'll link this one down in the description below if you want to purchase it on Amazon. Just gonna add a little bit right into the pot. And not only does that give a nice flavor, nice little addition of flavor, it also thickens up the chili a little bit to give it more of that consistency that we're looking for, because we aren't using any beans or anything like that. So we do need some more of that chili texture. We can now turn the heat off and we're ready to plate. I'm now gonna add some sour cream on top. Sour cream also goes really well with chili and it adds a lot of great flavor. Exactly what you're looking for in a chili. Take a look at this, guys. So delicious. I cannot wait to do the taste test. We're gonna mix in our sour cream into the soup. I don't know, is chili a soup or a stew? Let me know what you think down in the comments below. It's got a little bit of everything here. Some sour cream, the bacon, the chorizo, our ground beef. So high in protein, really delicious and perfect as we approach the summertime. Cheers. Super delicious, super simple. If you wanted, you could also add some green onions on top if you're making this keto. Thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. Also hit that notification bell to never miss a tasty upload. Till next time.